So hello everyone, my name is Neil, also known as Berga, and this is a conversation with the champion, Norman Powell. So Norman Powell didn't make his high school basketball team until his sophomore year. It wasn't until Norm's junior year that he got his opportunity and he flourished, averaging 19.7 and 20.4 during his junior and senior year respectively. Norm then went on to attend the University of UCLA and studied history. Norm played in all 141 games during his 4 years at UCLA. Nice Iron Man streak. He's ranked 28th on the school's all-time scoring list, which there's a lot of people that went to UCLA, so that's pretty big. And Norm Powell was selected 46 in the second round of the 2015 NBA draft. He was originally selected by the Milwaukee Bucks and then traded to Toronto. And in 2019, he was an important piece of the Toronto Raptors' first NBA championship. This season, Norm is averaging a career high in 17.3 points a game. Let's dig a bit deeper with Norman Powell so that we could understand the grind that made him a champion. So now everyone's muted right now. So we want Norm to be able to see us all the way over in Tampa. So we got to give our hands up, make some noise. Make some noise with your hands so Norm can see you. Make some noise for Norman Powell. Welcome to our virtual space, Norman. Hope you're doing all right.
I'm doing great. Can't complain. How are you?
I'm good. So thank you for doing this with us and the students at George Brown College. So I'm gonna dig right into it. I'm gonna be asking you a few questions. We also have some questions coming from students as well.
Okay.
So in high school, you eventually led Lincoln High to a state championship and became a two-time All-State high school player in the state of California.
Yeah.
So something happened though between your sophomore and junior year. What was the shift? Like, what happened?
I think there was just a big development in that summer. I took some time off due to groin surgery because I used to run track. Basketball was always my first love, but my mom was really into track and field. So I used to run track all the time, and I had pulled my groin. And so that summer, I just remember taking some time off to recover from the surgery and just like doing little basketball things that I could around the house. I think my body like finally caught up to my age, and I was able to work out more and things coming off that surgery, and basketball just became easier for me. I was more athletic when I came back. So I just think like everything that I was doing, plyometrics and things like that revolved around track and field just finally settled in, and my body matured a little bit and became more coordinated, and started putting that same time in that I was with track and field into basketball, and things just started to click for me.
Okay, cool. So then you went on 4 years at UCLA. What was that experience like?
It was eye-opening. Being at UCLA was the first time truly away from home, as I feel like some students can relate to being in college. And it was different for me. It was eye-opening. It was first time, trying to figure things out by myself. There's a lot of promises that were made to me when I was going to UCLA, and I was really excited. And my main goal was to be one of those kids that were like one and done, and just into the NBA after my first year. But that didn't necessarily happen. I went through a lot of ups and downs with the first coach that we had. I didn't play as much as I thought I would my first year. My freshman year, same thing. In my sophomore year, we had a bigger recruiting class coming in with NBA players like Shabazz Muhammad, Kyle Anderson. I think we had like the #1 recruiting class. So in my second year, when I was expecting to play more, I had to sit behind those guys.
Right.
So I saw my NBA hopes and dreams slowly diminish just based off of age and what the NBA scouts were saying about my development and things like that. So I ended up having to stay all 4 years and really figure out was this what I wanted, and figure out what I was going to do and how I was going to make my dreams a reality. And I appreciated everything that I went through at UCLA because I really think that it helped me at this level, going through everything that I went through.
That's cool. So UCLA, 44,000 students. You're one of the star players on the team. So again, we're from the Student Association of George Brown College. Did you attend any of the events planned by like your student union or the college?
That's one thing. I was funny. Like 2 weeks ago, I was just talking to one of my best friends that I met in college. He was my college teammate, Nick Kazemi, one of my close friends till this day. And we're talking about if we would have done anything differently, looking back at where we're at now and back when we were in college. And one of the things I told him was that I wish I had just got out more when I was at school. I was really just gym, home, homework, back to the gym, game day, same routine. Like I didn't really branch outside of my routine. And that's something that when I look back, like I wish I was involved more in like the student activities and things going on around campus, the different events and trips that were set, not by the team and things like that, but more so on my own personal, finding my own interests. I wish I did that more because I didn't do that enough.
Okay, cool. All right. So next question. So to kind of end your college career, 3 consecutive NCAA appearances, the last 2 advancing to back-to-back Sweet 16. So great college career. Moving forward, drafted again in 2015. What would you say was your biggest adjustment from college to the NBA?
I think my biggest adjustment from college and NBA was just the speed and timing of the game. It's totally different, the rules, what you can do and can't do defensively and offensively, the freedom of movement. That was one thing that was really tough for me. I mean, especially sitting behind like guys like DeMar and T. Ross and DeMar Carroll when I was coming in, veteran guys. You weren't really getting that much opportunity to show what you can do or even just adjust. You had to go in there on the fly and figure it out and hopefully not make any mistakes as a rookie, especially when you're on a good team. So I would say the speed of the game was probably the toughest thing for me to adjust to and figure out.
Okay, cool. So we do have a series of questions coming from students. I'll mute Jasul and she could ask her question.
Hi, Norman.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that I'm talking. Oh my gosh. Sorry. Oh wow. Okay. So my question for you is, what advice has the coach given you that you'll always remember?
Oh man, that's a good question. I've had a lot of good coaches growing up in my time. I think the biggest advice that my coaches have always given me, especially growing up when I was coming out of high school, was they've always had great faith in me that I was going to be one of the guys that made it to the NBA. And the greatest advice that they told me was that my greatest accomplishment would be far more than anything I achieve on the court. That's in community involvement, not forgetting where I came from, giving back to the community and inspiring others to pursue their own dreams and careers. So I think that was the biggest advice for me. And that stuck with me because I always knew that I was doing it more than just myself. I had my own personal and individual goals and dreams, but looking back at how things are now and looking at where I am in this current day and all the inspiration and messages I get from the generation behind me coming up and growing up, I think that was the greatest advice, and it helps me, remember why I'm doing this day in and day out. Trying to be a positive role model for the kids coming up after me.
And a good read for everyone too. So if you were to Google Bleacher Report 2015 redraft that was published back in May of last year, you can see where there was a position Norm to be selected off of what all happened so far in his career. So we're fortunate to have Norm second round.
See that?
Sorry?
So what they say, because I didn't see that.
No, what they say? Oh, you want me to tell you?
Yeah, I'm quizzing you.
You were eighth. They had you eighth.
Oh, man.
So you think, and if you think about that draft, you had Karl Anthony Towns, D'Angelo Russell, Devin Booker, Kristaps Porzingis, Montrez, Scary Terry, Kelly Oubre, Miles Turner. Yeah, so they had you at eighth. So think of that steal that the Raptors got.
That's crazy. I don't look at articles that are about me, so that's crazy to hear.
Yeah. Well, we're fortunate to have you.
We have three people. We have three students that are ready. We have Nick, Farah, and Matthew. Which one would you like?
Okay, let's go with Farah. And Matthew, you want one of the people.
Hi, Norman.
Well,
Hi, my name is Farah, and I'm a nursing student at George Brown. And here with me are my family. Say hi.
oh, nice. Hello, everyone.
Yeah, so my question is, on the Raptors team, who are you closest to and why?
Who I'm closest to, and it's really different. Before, when I first came in, it was me and DeLon Wright. That was my guy, still is my guy. He was probably like my closest teammate at the time. Right now, I would say it's Pascal and Fred. And because we just shared like our journey together. You know, me and Fred bonded my second year in summer league. It was his first year. And, you know, it's easy to bond with somebody when you have that connection and mentality and focus and why you're going out here and competing day in and day out, going through the grind. And he's always had that, you know, that underdog mentality of working, you know, for what he wants, you know, not taking no for an answer and putting everything on the line, you know, to get to where you want to be, where you envision yourself, no matter what other people are saying about you. So that's how me and Fred connected, and Pascal, same way. And we just a journey together, going through the ups and downs and being on the same team and trying to figure out the processes of the season and what it's like to handle the NBA stresses that are that we have to deal with. And so those are my two closest teammates.
Great, thanks so much for answering. Have a nice day.
No problem. Thank you. You too.
All right, cool. I'm gonna ask one more question before we go back to a student question. So you've been in Toronto. I know right now you're obviously in Tampa, but being in Toronto for the last 5-6 years, do you have a favorite place to eat here in Toronto?
Yeah, I miss Toronto actually. I don't miss the weather. I can't say Tampa is amazing with the weather, but just the whole city and the vibe and just being in front of the fans. Yeah, I definitely miss it. But I would say my favorite restaurant in Toronto right now is Copacabana. It's been that way since my rookie season, and I still love that place.
Oh, that's nice. They got the grilled pineapples. And...
Yeah, the grilled pineapple, man. The steak come in, the shrimp, the wrapped bacon, the bacon wrapped shrimp. I mean, yeah, everything's fire.
Nice. Okay, so we're gonna go to Mary Joy.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Norm. How are you?
I'm good.
So my question for you today is, what has been the greatest lesson learned being a professional athlete in the NBA that you use or can use in your personal life?
I think the greatest thing that I've learned, especially where everything that has unfolded in the last year, is definitely how important my platform is, not only for myself, my family, and my community, but worldwide, and how much change can be made by me speaking up and using my platform and using my voice. I think that's one thing that people who oppose athletes speaking out don't see and understand, that we're more than just athletes. We're more than just people running up and down or the court dribbling a basketball. That we have our own views and are just like normal people ourselves, and that it's our responsibility to speak out for those who can't speak out. Our voices aren't heard as much or are as well as somebody with a platform like myself and other guys on the team. I think that's one thing that I've definitely really learned this past year with all the social injustice going around the world is that I need to speak up and use my platform while I have it in the prime of my career to affect change.
Thank you so much. And thank you for using your platform.
No problem. Thank you.
Nice. So as you know, Toronto is a multicultural city. Both your parents, I understand, are both Jamaican. So my question to you, have you ever been to Jamaica? And if so, do you have a favorite Jamaican dish?
Yeah, I went to Jamaica. So my dad's Jamaican. My mom's not Jamaican. I wish
my bad.
But no, my dad's Jamaican, and my dad's from Kingston. I feel like everybody knows that I was raised a single parent. My mom raised me and my three sisters herself. So I'm not as in touch as I would like to with my Jamaican roots. That's one thing that over the years, I've tried to pry out of my dad, which is still, till this day, something tough to do. Right. But he told me information that he grew up in Kingston. And 2 summers ago, I went to Montego Bay as a little vacation and got a little history on, my last name around the island and all of that. And it was just amazing. Everybody was asking me, do I speak the dialect? And no, I didn't have anything for them. So they were disappointed at that. But yeah, I went back one time and I'm looking forward to going back more and more over the years.
Okay, that's cool. Like one of the funniest things, like I know, well, I'm not Jamaican. My parents are from St. Vincent. But one of the funniest things, whenever I hear Americans trying to talk Jamaican, that's always the funniest thing to me. But a little segue connection. On Friday, we actually had a virtual concert with Coffee. So that was pretty cool. We're gonna go to Nick.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm blessed. Could be better. Finally got off exam, so taking the time for myself right now.
Nice.
Yeah, and the Caribbean connection. I'm not Jamaican, Guyanese, and Trinidadian. So yeah, obviously I say chicken curry, but I know you would say curry chicken.
Yeah, there we go.
That's the argument. But let's get into the question. One thing I noticed about it feels like the American sports media tends to give the Raptors no respect at all, even after when you guys won the NBA championship. Now, when LeBron, KD, or Steph Curry wins, they're usually praised and respected like crazy. But a few weeks ago, you guys beat the Nets, but during the game, the ESPN broadcasters only talked about KD's leaving the game for a protocol. So what's up with the lack of respect from the American media?
I think you said it right there. I don't know if I'll get in trouble for this, but whatever. American media, that's what it is, and even though we're in the NBA and we're a part of that league that is in the United States, I think there's just a divide, and not just from somebody's own opinions or stance on it, but just from a money thing too. A lot of the viewership and things that go on in Canada don't translate over to money being made in America. Like we have a whole country that watches our games. The most viewed games. When we're in the finals and things like that. But those viewership, those numbers don't transfer over to the American media to where they get paid. So the focus and on the Raptors isn't as much because they don't profit as much from a team like us that plays in Canada. I mean, it's great for us in Canada because we have a whole country and all the money and revenue that's being generated from the teams there, which is amazing. But I just when it comes to American media and things like that, it doesn't translate well. So their focus can't be on the team outside of
But
the
it seems like to me that everybody was cheering, most of the guys but the Bay Area was cheering for you during the finals, right? Like most of the United States and all that stuff, right? And and I don't care what those clowns on ESPN, Stephen A. Smith, Jacoby, and all those guys say. Like, you guys are legitimate to me.
Yeah, we don't care about what they talk about either. You know, we use that as fuel to the fire. You know, we're gonna keep staying relevant. You know, even though they try to push us down, saying that we're gonna be the worst team in the NBA, this, that, and the other. You know, we always claw our way back. And
yeah, you guys went from the 14th seed to the 5th seed. I mean, that's impressive if you ask me.
Yeah, so we're gonna keep it going, man, and keep our Toronto Raptors in the face of American media, so they have to talk about us.
All right, I appreciate it. Thanks for the time, Norm.
No problem, man. Thanks for the question.
All right, so moving forward to the championship season. So at what point during the 2018-2019 season did you realize the Raptors were good enough to actually win the championship?
As crazy as it sounds, honestly, I think we started to notice very early. And I think that just came from how we were playing. You know, we were playing really well, and we still had, you know, some guys still figuring out the pieces and their roles, and we were still winning. You know, and you know, when you have a guy like Kawhi, you know, I mean, I've seen some amazing things watching DeMar and things like that, and you know, seeing Kawhi and a guy that does it all on both sides of the floor, diving for balls without even seeing them for steals. You know, making those extra defensive plays. Him and Danny doing double blocks multiple times during the season. You know, you could just see the championship DNA in them, and it just started to go through the whole team of just the confidence and understanding what it took. And we noticed that really early that we could be special. And then we also had a meeting with one of the bad boys, Pistons, who won a championship, and he literally said it like y'all gonna win this, like y'all gonna win a championship this year, and that was like halfway through the season, and like people thought like, you know, like yeah, we think we can win it, but like coming from somebody who's won it and like seeing what a championship team looks like and feels like, I think that really like set the tone for everybody, top to bottom, you know, really figuring it out and doing whatever it took so we can get to that championship.
No, dope. And if you've never seen that 30 for 30 with the bad boys, for any basketball fans out there, that's a dope 30 for 30, ESPN 30 for 30. Check that out. Yeah, I don't think the team gets enough credit because that team was stacked. You mentioned Kawhi, obviously yourself, Kyle, Fred, Serge, Gasol, Siakam, Danny Green. Yeah, that team was stacked, and they always just refer to it as, at least the American media, as just Kawhi, but that team was stacked.
No, I mean we had I was talking to Fred even like during the year. It's like, man, we have something for everybody. Like positions that need to be filled, guarded. We can go small, we can go or super big lineup. Like we just had so much versatility. That even though, you know, Kawhi is going to get all the praise and everything like that, which he should, but, you know, Kawhi definitely didn't carry us to the championship by himself. You know, we had big games from me, Fred, Pascal, you know, played amazing that whole run. Kyle came through. You know, everybody did their part and what it takes for a championship team to win. You know, the main guys didn't get all the credit as they should because they put the work in. But there's other guys who stepped up, you know, and provided that spark and that energy to push us over the top.
For sure. So again, we're here talking with Norman Powell. This is Conversations with a Champion. Now, you mentioned Kawhi. Did you have a relationship with Kawhi before you came to Toronto? I know you both are from San Diego. Yeah, so just curious.
Well, my mom and his mom had a relationship before anything. They are, and they were friends prior. But I first met Kawhi on that I could remember. I first met Kawhi on my first official college visit when I was looking at San Diego State as one of the schools to go to. They were the first school to recruit me, which is really funny because my handler at the time, who like takes me around campus and shows me everything, the that's like supposed to be all cool to get whoever to commit was Jeremy Castleberry, and that is Kawhi's right hand man, like best friend. So it was just crazy.
Remember him on the bench too that season.
So it's crazy how like full circle, like we were playing together in Toronto. Like never would have thought that. So I met Kawhi when I was in high school, and he was always real cool to me. Always open if I needed anything. I could reach out. And when I got to the league, same way. Like when I would play in San Antonio, he would come to Toronto. We would talk and just catch up if I needed anything. If I wanted to work out with him in the summer, I could. So that was always our relationship. He's always been like a big brother who, if I need anything, I could reach out to him.
Okay, cool. We're gonna go to Adhar with your question.
Hi Norm, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. I love the t-shirt you're wearing.
Thank you, man.
So my question to you is, if you are not a basketball player, what else would you be doing apart from that?
Well, growing up, people find it really funny when I say this. I wanted to be a lawyer at first.
Wow.
Yeah. I always had like a knack for being able to argue my point until making the person agree with me. And my mom always said that I would make a good lawyer. And even till this day, she tries to get me to go back to school to pursue that career choice for after basketball. But yeah, if I wasn't playing basketball, I definitely think I would have pursued a career in law.
Perfect. Thank you.
That's cool. So let's talk to us about that championship parade experience. What was that like, Norm?
Man, that championship parade was something that, I can't even put into words. The craziest thing, like how crazy it was and how many people were there, was that at the start of the parade, like when we're pulling out of, now it's OVO, but pulling out of BioSteel, at the time, there were so many people that like the starting was when we got to the end of like BMO Field. That's where the parade was supposed to start. And there were so many people before, is that like when we pulled out of the driveway of not Scotiabank, from BioSteel, I thought the parade had started. So like the team has a certain number of like champagne bottles and all that, and I started popping the bottles and throwing it on the crowd because I'm thinking the crowd is like the parade already. But it was like one of the most insane, fun experiences I've ever had in my life. Being able to see so much love and see just the gathering of people, coming over to support for one thing, and just to be a part of history. To me, it's been amazing that every year I've been part of some type of Raptor history, whether it's the most wins in the season, whether it was making the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time, getting past the second round, making it past the Eastern Conference Finals, all those things, making history, and to be a part of another historic moment of having all those millions of people out there supporting that one cause of bringing the championship to the city. I'll never forget that. And I think the best moment of that whole parade was seeing Mark down that whole bottle of wine, which was pretty fun to see.
Yeah, Mark was living on that parade, that's for sure.
Yeah, he was living like he won 5 championships.
And what's crazy with that whole situation, with us winning the championship and the current climate in the world, our 2019 championship parade has been the last one. Obviously, the Lakers had to put their parade on hold. So we'll see how long it takes for the next championship team to be able to celebrate with their fans. But it won't be as big as that Toronto parade, though.
I don't think anything's going to be as big or as wild as the Toronto parade. Seeing people standing on the statues, standing in the trees, on street lights and everything like that. yeah, that I don't think anything will match that.
Dope. So we're gonna go to Anita. Anita, you could ask your question. You're gonna be unmuted.
Hi, Norman.
Hello.
Thank you so much for talking to us today.
No problem.
My question was, how did basketball impact your childhood growing up? And how was it balancing basketball with like, say, like your social life and school, etc.?
Yeah. Basketball growing up gave me an escape from reality. I would watch so many highlight videos, movies on success stories, and seeing guys perform at the highest level in arenas, jam-packed. Even when I was a kid in middle school, looking at high schoolers like Sebastian Telfair, Nick Young, DeMar DeRozan, looking at their highlight tapes when they're in high school and just seeing how packed the gym was. I remember being at home, just laying down after watching those videos and movies, and just kind of going into a zone of seeing myself, as that guy, as that person, playing in front of all these crowds, wanting to be at that level, wanting to perform at that level. And I would go to the park and do the same thing, where it'd just be me and my basketball, and just reenacting different moves and movements of the guys that I looked up to and wanted to play like. So basketball was my escape growing up. Still is. If I have anything on my mind or just getting bogged down with stuff, I always go to the gym, and just like my little safe place. But I think basketball was always really tough, because in order to be at that level, people don't understand like the sacrifices that have to be made. If you want to be the best at your craft, in anything, not just sports, you got to spend time away from the people that you love. You have to, not be as social. So all my friends, when I was in high school, when I made that jump of putting the work in, they're all going out. They're going on party buses and house parties and doing everything that a normal, teenager growing up would do, going to the movies and things like that. And when they were going to the movies and doing all the fun stuff, I was in the gym at night, early in the mornings. So I didn't really have too much social life outside of the teammates and friends that I made being on the basketball team. Yeah, so it was give or take, So I gave up something for something that I really loved. But yeah, I really don't have that much of a social life besides things that are like planned.
So I'm a big WWE fan still to this day. Yeah, still I gotta, if I don't watch it live, I record it and watch it late.
My favorite.
Sorry?
Rey Mysterio was my favorite. 619.
Rey Mysterio?
Yeah.
My favorite probably was Razor Ramon. I'm old school.
Okay.
With it. But I noticed that the Raptors used the belt. Can you tell us how the Raptors utilized the WWE Championship belt?
The WWE Championship belt? Oh man, people ask about that all the time. I don't know. It was just like, I think that came when Nick took over as head coach. And it was just something that came up randomly. Like, people were confused about why they had the WWE belts, but it's a way that we track like the different competitive things that we do in practice. So like, we'll have one day, like, we'll go in there and we'll have like a one-on-one competition. Whoever wins that at the end of practice, to get the WWE belt. If we have a day where we're like scrimmaging and doing all that, they'll track different things. Who had the most offensive rebounds? Who had the most steals? Who had the most deflections? Who won the shooting contest? Like, had the best numbers doing a little shooting contest that we do. Different things like that, and that's how you win the WWE belt. At the start, we were able to take the belt home. That didn't last too long, because guys would just leave it at home thinking that they actually won it and didn't have to bring it back.
Yeah.
So now we do it to where you win. Well, in training camp, you win the belt, you take a picture, and you have to give it back, and they just promote it. So it just comes from guys winning certain little drills.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I was at a coaching clinic, and I got to see how it was used during some of the drills.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're going to go to Kareem, and we have Jessica that's going to be assistant Kareem.
If you could design a dream team of any past players, who would it be?
Oh.
Only one Raptor allowed.
Only one Raptor allowed. Okay. A dream team of like only 5 people? Is that, are we like a starting 5?
You could do a sub too.
Starting 5.
Okay. All right. So let's go back. I do Magic Johnson at my point. Kobe at the 2 guard. I would do Michael Jordan at the 3. I'll do Shaq at the 5 as my center. The 4 is interesting. I do LeBron James as the 4. He can play the 4. And then I would sub, my 6th man would be, put a Raptor in there, Vince Carter.
Okay, that's a strong squad right there, Norm. So you're from the state of California. So put together the Norman Powell starting 5 and 6 man for your all California team.
Oh, that's even tougher. Dang. Does that have to be like current players in the NBA or just like current players that like guys that I grew up with?
Well, you know what? I was told you couldn't use current, but it's up to you. You could go wherever you want to go with it.
Because like some people don't know like some of the players that come out of California because they didn't make it to the NBA. So
Okay, so go with it however way you want to go with it.
All right. Well, I'm gonna put myself in there because like I'm not gonna not put myself in there.
Talk that talk, Norm.
That's kind of weird. So it'd be me. Dang, who plays defense? 'Cause I ain't gonna be playing defense on this team. I don't know. I don't think there's many people that play defense that I would put on there. Me, James Harden, DeMar. I need a big man, so I would go with Jeremy Tyler. I don't know if people know who that is, but he was the number 1 player in the nation back when I was in high school. He's like 2-3 years older than me. He made it to the NBA a little bit, but I have him as my center. Then I'll do Nick Young, Swaggy P, me, James Harden, DeMar, Swaggy P, and Jeremy Tyler.
Okay, I think didn't Tyler play with the Raptors for a little bit?
Did he play with the Raptors?
He might have. I know I have my brother.
My 6th man would be Dominique McGuire. Sorry, you said 6. Dominique McGuire played with the Raptors. That's my guy. He went to Lincoln.
Okay. All right, cool. So your clothing brand, Understand the Grind. What does that mean to you? Tell us about that.
My clothing brand means everything to me in a sense. One, because I never knew that it was going to grow in my brand itself. Understand the Grind was going to be a clothing brand. Honestly, Understand the Grind was something that me and my friends used when we were growing up as a motivational tool. It was never aspirations of, we're going to make this into a clothing line and, we're going to sell merch and this and the other. It was literally just a mantra that we used, a lifestyle that we try to live by in pursuing our goals and dreams to get out of our community that we're in. We just used it as that, and it slowly but surely grew into where it's at now. And it just means everything to me because it's what I live by. Every day I wake up when I'm feeling down or out or don't feel like wanting to work out or, going through whatever situation or struggle or obstacle that I'm faced with, I always think back to what Understand the Grind is, and it changes my perspective on why I'm doing it, and what the situation is and what I'm going to do to fix or change it so I can get back on the path of reaching my end goal.
Okay, cool. So take us back to the bubble. What was that experience like being in the bubble and I know your Raptors were one of the teams that got there, I think a week or two earlier than everyone else. So what was that whole experience like?
That was tough, especially going to Florida. We were in Naples first, before everybody. So it's like another 2 weeks that you weren't with your family, and everything like that, and added 2 weeks to being in Florida away from everybody. And before going into the actual bubble, we're already having a taste of the bubble, and I didn't like it to start with. But going into it, it sucked. The food was terrible at the start. But it got better. The league took the criticism from the players and really started to change things as people got used to it, the routine and the scheduling of what was going on in the bubble. It got better. Now I look at it as something that I wish we still had, just because the routines were so great. Kind of being spoiled right now, but just not having the travel as much, and like going from the hotel to the game was literally like a 3-minute drive. Didn't matter if you're home or away, like it's still 3 minutes there and back to get back to your room, so you don't have to deal with the fatigue of flights and travel or whatever it was, back to backs and all that. It was really easy and simple. So now I miss it. Before I didn't like it just because everything was controlled, and what we could and couldn't do, and not being able to have family there. And then, but I wish we actually were playing in a bubble now.
Oh, that's cool. Well, a fun fact. So in the past 6 seasons since drafted Norman Powell, the Raptors have the most combined Player of the Week awards. So last time I checked, I think it was 19. Norm is also the last Eastern Conference player to win the award in 2019-2020 season before the lockdown. So a little fun fact regarding Norm. Mental health. So mental health is something that we all deal with at various levels. How do you deal with stress, and what advice can you give to students?
I think the biggest thing about mental health is figuring out, for me, and I can't speak for everybody because everybody's situation is different, and I respect that, for everybody's struggles and things like that. But for me, I think the biggest thing for me to deal with my mental health issues, everything that I've gone through, is figuring out what it is, and accepting it and being okay. I feel like a lot of people who deal with mental health, and myself included, shy away from the fact that they're struggling with whatever it is, anxiety, depression, whatever is hindering them, and they keep it to themselves, and it kind of just builds up and bottles up until, they don't know what to do, and they have a breakdown. For me, over the years, I've put a tremendous amount of time and effort in working on my mental health issues and being able to deal with them and analyze them and not let them hinder me so much. I'm an overthinker. I'm a person that deals with a lot of self-doubt and talk. And before growing up, not knowing about mental health issues, I used it as motivation. Always telling myself that I could do better, that I wasn't good enough, this, that, and the other. But over time, that can really drain you. You don't know subconsciously what that negative self-talk is doing to you over a extended period of time. So I put a lot of time and effort in my off season, working with a mental health coach, a life coach. And we do a whole bunch of different activities and just different mental skill work to strengthen my mental focus and the way I approach not only basketball, but life in general. And it's really helped me just see clearer, be accepting of whatever the situation is being thrown at me, and not letting it hinder me, drive me down, or feel, insecure about myself. I've cultivated a very strong positive mindset and staying in the present moment of things and dealing with things as they come. But I feel like mental health is a really big issue that isn't talked about as much. And anybody that's on this video call, if you're dealing with any mental health issues, don't be afraid to speak up and say that you are. Don't be don't feel that like you're the only one that's going through what you're going through, and seek help. It's okay to find help when you need it. And I would say one thing that's helped me is embracing the present moment of life and in any situation, and remembering why you're going through everything that you're going through and for that end goal.
Okay, cool. So we're coming to the end of our conversation with Norm Powell. I have a few quick responses. I'm calling them quick things right now. So quick responses from Norman Powell. Your favorite jersey of all time?
My favorite jersey?
Raptors jersey.
The Dino jersey.
Dinosaur. That was a classic. Most frugal teammate on the Raptors?
Me.
Teammate most likely to leave you unread?
On red?
Yeah.
Kyle.
Yeah, I would have guessed that one too. Teammate that talks the most trash on the team?
Chris Boucher.
Favorite Raptor of all time?
Favorite Raptor of all time, Vince Carter.
Favorite UCLA player of all time?
Favorite UCLA player of all time? That's tough. Tyus Edney.
Okay, Tyus Edney. 4.8 seconds.
There you go.
Missouri.
Yeah, there it is.
My brother taught me well. How many pairs of shoes do you own?
Oh, man. I don't know.
Oh, is that much? Over 100?
Yeah, over 100 for sure.
Okay. Well, because you have so many. If you want to get rid of them, you know you could send them down to.
You were size 14.
Oh, well, no, I probably had to put something in the front to fill it out a little bit more, but it's all good. Have you ever been to Drake's home in Toronto?
No, I've never been to Drake's home. I think that's more like Kyle and Fred, closer to Drake.
Do you have a? What was that?
Cool, but nah, never been.
Do you have a favorite Drake song?
Man. Honestly, I'm gonna give backstory. I know it's like supposed to be like a quick question. It's still crazy to me that like, you know, I play for the Raptors and everything like that. And like Drake's like the ambassador of the team, because growing up, I used to be like a huge Drake fan. And that came from like my sisters loved Degrassi. So like I would always watch Degrassi when I was growing up. Like I had no choice. And like I have like throwback Drake albums, like City Is Mine type albums. And
right,
we don't really talk about, they talk about Emotionless and 30 for 30 and Blim and all those things that he come out with now. But I have like throwback before Drake was who he is. So it's crazy to me that like I play for the Raptors and like Drake's on the team.
And he was on the parade buses with you and everything too.
Yeah.
So again, thank you, Norm, for this discussion. We all now understand the grind. Thank you to all the students to join in our student association space. And yeah, just the decisions you make will influence your outcomes of tomorrow to all the students out there. So make sure you make wise decisions so that your future is as bright as it can be. We're going to be doing a raffle. We're going to be raffling off a signed Norm Powell jersey. So the jerseys are on the way. We're going to be doing a quick raffle. So I know we have a couple of minutes here with Norm. So we're going to do that right now, if you don't mind, Norm. You have to be a George Brown student to win. These are names pulled directly from Show Pass. Mohammed, all right. Thank you. We're going to be doing some other giveaways throughout the week for a chance to win some Norm Powell clothing. Understand the grind. We also got some Raptors gear on the way as well. So again, thank you, Norman Powell. Really appreciate it. Be safe up there. Hope to see you soon in Toronto.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a great talk, great time. Thank you.
And again, so everyone's muted, so Norm can't hear you applaud. So you gotta give him the jazz hat. Let him see it. Get that photo too, Noel. All right, so thank you again, all the students that participated to check out the event. Those students that also asked those questions, you also have a chance to win something as well. You're also all winning something, but you have another chance to win something bigger. Enjoy those Krispy Kreme donuts over there, Noel. And thank you all for participating, and be safe, and see you all soon.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.